What's going on, guys? Avatar Man Z here, and today I'm featuring a training pack I made earlier today on midfield passing. So right now, whenever you guys are watching this, I want you guys to go to the training tab, go to the custom training, and check out the featured and browse tabs. I want you guys to count how many different passing training packs there are. In fact, the only one that I can see is this one from Whey Protein, where you're actually practicing infield passing. Try to say that 5 times fast. Anyways, so in the Browse tab, there's actually one from Pokito, but this Aerial Shots Pass training pack is one where you're going to be receiving passes in the air. He still wants you to shoot them. I'm talking about training packs where they have you practice infield passing or passing in general, like this one from Whey Protein. I feel like there is a gap in training packs like this. So anyways, similar to Whey Protein, I made my own. I will, of course, put the code in the description below and in a pinned comment as well, probably. So if we hit play, I actually tried to simulate a few situations in game where you might be picking up the mid boost pad or you might be going over the small skittles in the midfield. I'm going to simulate an infield pass, very short, straight down to the ground. This one isn't too complicated because all you have to do is just wait for, I feel like Bakismat is messing up the timing here of the replay, but that's all right. So I'm actually going to reset this one, and since I have Bakismat installed, it's actually going to mirror this as well. So I feel like if you guys really want to get the most out of this one, then probably install Bakismat as well. Anyways, so I simulated a pass where my opponent, or my teammate, sorry, is actually across the field. So try to think about different scenarios and if the opponent might be able to get to the ball rather than my teammate. So if I try to pass this and it goes straight into the goalie box, that's probably not the best pass, obviously. So to get the most out of this training pack, you're going to want to think about where your pass is and think about the different scenarios in a game where that might be a good pass or not. Again, this is going to be one where I pick up the mid boost pad, but I might not use it at all. I'm going to wait basically for this ball to reach my car. Sorry, I'm going to redo this one. I'm going to wait for the ball to reach my car, and instead of hitting it forwards, I'm actually going to let it roll almost past my car, and all I have to do is barrel roll here. All I have to do is match the height of the ball right here and barrel roll. Just match the timing. It's nothing too complicated. But now if I want to pass this across field, maybe a rebound is not always the best option. So I'm going to have to think about different scenarios. I might have to come underneath the ball a little bit more. So obviously training packs like this are only as good as your imagination. So something like that might be a decent cross map pass. Something like that might be a little bit better. Something not straight in the goalie's box like I mentioned before. So this one is actually simulating where we already have an offensive stance and we're actually just getting a clear from the offense. So now think about, again, another short midfield pass. Maybe that's a little too far back. Maybe something like that. Maybe since we already have an offensive move that we might already be pushing them, back. And they might not have the best rotation on defense. So this infield pass might be actually viable. So now think about it where I want to pass across the field. Again, it just requires your imagination. So something like that might actually be perfect for my opponent or my teammate. Think about if he just grabbed that other boost pad in their right side. So that might actually be viable. It just depends. So again, this is a scenario where we are grabbing this mid boost pad. We're not actually going to be using a whole lot of boost here. I'm going to use a little bit of boost and to flip, but we're not always going to be using the boost that we have, right? So I'm going to simulate as if I just grab this boost pad, but I'm not really going to be using it. Again, I'm going to be letting the ball reach my car. We might actually have to go on the wall a little bit. And again, barrel rolling. Notice how I'm keeping the ball on the ground every time. I'm actually going to be jumping first before I actually reach the ball. That way when I hit it, it stays on the ground. Versus my other option is to basically just chip this across. Again, that's pretty much a shot, but you guys get what I'm saying. If you don't jump into the ball first, then I'm going to be chipping it up for the opponents. Then imagine this also, where if I chip this across, now the only option for my teammate is to receive that in the air. Especially in higher ranked lobbies where the opponent will challenge that. Now I'm limiting my teammate and his options. So that pass, although it's across the field, now it limits the options that my teammates have. Whereas if I just chip this across, Now my teammate can actually choose what he wants to do. So now let's say I'm the one receiving the pass. Now I'm the one with the roller. Now I can choose to fake an air dribble and then go for a dribble, right? I can do so many different things now that I have the ball on the ground. I can choose again to just go for a pretty much like a ones play, right? I can have so many more options available to me rather than if I have to receive this in the air, my only option is a redirect or putting it off the backboard or trying to pass again. I'm limiting my teammates' options. So even though the placement of my shot might be decent, say that's pretty good, now my teammate already has to wait, or he can't wait for that to bounce, most likely. So I'm limiting his options because now he has to jump for it. So keeping it on the ground is going to be the best option, pretty much 9 times out of 10. So again, basically just trying to position yourself and time the flip so that you can know where to put the ball. All right, let's move on. So this is going to be pretty hard. I would probably either take this one on the wall, or if you want to take this one, simulate as if you just grabbed the mid boost pad. That's probably the best way. Not using so much boost until you actually get the mid boost pad. So you're not even really going to be coming at this one that fast until you reach that boost pad. Now, this one is basically all about air roll timing. Again, notice how I'm keeping the ball on the ground. I'm keeping it short, so that way my teammate, by the time it reaches him, will be a bounce that he can take on the ground, and he can do with whatever he wants with it. Again, if I'm chipping this up too high for my teammates, like this, now the only option they have to do with that is to hit it in the air, and it limits them. So hitting it in the air is not always the best option, even at Grand Champion for sure. Because now if my opponent calls for an across the map pass, cross field, the only option he has is to redirect that. This one is actually simulating a kickoff where I just grab the mid boost. And again, I don't want to be chipping this in the air, because now if I do that, if I chip this up for a pass, now even if it wasn't that high, again, my teammate's only option is to hit that in the air. So again, we want to keep that on the ground. It just depends on how much you want to simulate a game. I'll let us watch the replay so I can get a drink here. This one is simulating where we're grabbing the mid Skittles and we're transitioning from offense to defense. So again, I might be taking that on the bounce and I might be doing another bounce shot, right? But again, I could bounce into it, or I could jump into it, sorry, and kill it. I could jump into the ball to keep it on the ground, rather than taking this at the bounce and giving my teammate another bounce shot. That might not always be the best option. So again, you might want to roll it. It just depends on the situation. I can kill the ball on the ground. All right, the next one is going to be probably one of the hardest ones in this training pack. This is probably a little too advanced for most people, especially if you're like below diamond for sure. This one is going to be where you're simulating a roller up the field like we just got a clear from their defense. And this one, you're basically going to want to be getting 2 touches on this one, I feel. An air drag is not really viable because it kind of comes off the wall, but in this scenario, now if I air drag this across the field, my teammate doesn't know how many touches I'm getting. So you're going to want to grab the boost but not really use it a whole lot. And say my teammate is mid, so now he can reach for that in the air for a shot. Say I want to hit this across, now I want to try to get a flip into it. It's all about getting that first touch and getting that touch control. Being able to air roll as well, being able to correct your car. This one is pretty advanced. And say we don't even air roll, say we don't have the time, or sorry, use a flip. So you guys get this. This is probably going to be the hardest one in the training pack for sure. I also feel like number 10 is going to be pretty difficult. Number 9 is simulating a kickoff, again, where we just grab this mid boost pad. And again, we don't want to be chipping this in the air because now it limits my teammates' options. Say we want to have like a Jazer play. If you guys ever watch Jazer's videos, they always pass on the ground, and that's how they do it, like this. They grab the mid boost and they hit it back to each other over and over again on the ground. Now, again, you don't want to be chipping this in the air, even if it is like straight across or towards the midfield, because, again, it limits my options. I feel like I'm repeating myself. That's because I am. That's because it's really important. Even at Grand Champ, a lot of people make this mistake, even myself. Again, number 10, probably the hardest one. You're not going to be really using a lot of boost. This is going to be a little bit of a slower play, but then you have to try to get a midfield pass out of this one. Again, I feel like this is going to be pretty hard for most people. I'm not sure how many of my viewers could do that, kind of come up upside down and air roll it. And all I'm doing here is I'm trying to jump so that by the time I meet the ball, I'm on the opposite side of it. So I'm jumping straight, right? Then all I'm doing is jumping upside down, basically. I'm basically jumping upside down with a little bit of an air roll. So that by the time I'm front flipping, all I'm doing is front flipping or like corner flipping, basically, I can hit it midfield. So that's probably what I would do in a game, honestly. Another option is to try to front flip into it. Again, pretty similar mechanics. Just depends on your orientation of your car. Again, notice how when I reach the ball, I'm hitting it in the middle of the ball, and I'm front flipping it straight back across the field. I'm not hitting it forwards. Again, because if I mess this up, and if I try to clear this too far forwards, the opponent will have a pretty easy clear. And now I can't stop trying to do a midfield pass. But say I try to take the shot. Now that, although is a pretty decent shot, a high-ranked goalie will definitely save that for sure, and that could definitely be another shot on your net, actually. My teammate who grabs their boost might be able to receive that, but it's not always guaranteed. So, again, it just depends on how often you guys want to simulate and how realistic you guys want to be and how satisfied you are with your pass placement. So that has been my midfield passing training pack. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Subscribe for notifications on my newer videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Avatar Manzi, signing out.